co-founder, is based here in Thailand. It provides robust, localized e-commerce solutions for global brands such as L'Oreal, Groupline, Abbott, Unilever, some of the global brands, Nescafe, and more throughout the Asia-Pacific region. Prior to that, and prior to e-commerce, she worked as VP of Operations for Zalora and part of Rocket Internet GmbH, one of the world's leading internet incubators. And Finsiri, we are so interested in hearing your story, but let's roll the video.
Southeast Asia, a dynamic region with nearly 380 million digital consumers, driven by economic development and accelerated by the global pandemic. Southeast Asians are rapidly shifting to digital commerce. The opportunities are clear, but in this vast and diverse region, how can you navigate the challenging e-commerce landscape? At A-Commerce, we enable local and global brands to reach their online commerce goals with tailored and end-to-end e-commerce services, unique data and insights, and technology that fully utilize the power of social commerce, marketplaces, brand websites, and D2C initiatives everywhere and at any time. Our proprietary technology platform, E-Commerce IQ, automate and scale our brand clients' online business, enabling brands to own valuable data insights and optimizing their margin. As the region's largest e-commerce enabler, we are the trusted partner for the world's leading brands, providing them with infrastructure, services, and technology to thrive in the competitive online environment. We are passionate about our mission and dedication to our clients because their success is our success. And together we will drive digital transformation and support long-term sustainable growth in Southeast Asia. A-Commerce Group, Public Company Limited. Powering e-commerce.
Amazing, amazing. Finsiri, how long have you owned your company? When did it start?
It started in 2013.
Okay, so that makes it about 9 years. You're almost
Close
into a
to 10
decade?
years. Yes.
Okay, so tell me about your career story. Why did you start your own business?
First of all, I just want to say how humble I am to be able to, share the stage with the amazing entrepreneur here, right? So I try not to bore you after the lunchtime with my story. I would say, I'm always be rebellious, right? In the sense that I'm born and raised here in Thailand. I'm growing up from my Chinese family who are very strict. So my parents always, you have to be a doctor, you have to be an engineer and lawyers, and I think a lot of the people here might associate with that, right? And then the first chance I got is when I look for the scholarships, right? I want to get out, right? So I accidentally got a scholarship in Japan, right? So my parents pay for my plane ticket and I'm out. Right? I was like, don't worry, I'm going to figure it out myself. I speak zero Japanese, but I'll make it there, right? And that's where we have economic crisis. So I have a lot of pressure to be able to, sustain myself, work, part-time job, so on and so forth, to be able to support myself. And I think you can see the typical path. After I graduate, I came back and I worked in a Japanese company, right? Conglomerates, very solid. And I feel like something missing. It's very clock in and clock out for me, and I feel like, and I had to stuck through it because I don't want to be challenged that, oh, you just came back and then you keep jumping around, changing job, and I need to prove that, oh, I can stick with one job more than a year. So I worked through it, but I feel like somehow I was something missing. So that's when I started to, do the part-time master degree, right? But then when I see the opportunity come with the Rocket Internet back in, I think, 2008, 2009, nobody know what it was, right? It's e-commerce. What is e-commerce back then, right? Nobody talk about e-commerce. And then for some reason, it's startup, right? It's 0 employee. For whatever reasons, I jump in on it, despite against all my parents questioning, like, why? Why are you jumping from a stable corporate to start something where the
That's
business
right.
is not proven, nobody knows? And back then, now it's easier when we talk about e-commerce and infrastructures, but back then it's really difficult. How do you set up the team to do online marketing? Like, nobody knows what online marketing is. How do you set up the warehousing, the last mile delivery, right? I mean, nobody talk about it. We can't outsource to anybody. So we end up setting up everything ourselves from scratch, right? And after I've done that for a couple of years, and I see an opportunity is have to be something more than that. Right, so that's when I decided, in the futures, we know e-commerce going to be the futures retail, right? The trends is coming. So that's where I'm thinking all the experience that we have built, right? All the brand, if they're in the futures, they want to go online, they have to go through the same process, right? And that's why I decided to start up the company like e-commerce, that we want to be that one-stop shop for brand, for them to don't have to go through the same experience that they do, right? Take all the learning, take all the best practices, and be that one-stop shop, right? And then, 9 years forward, we expand the footprint into 5 countries. Our team now, it's over 850 staff. We serve over 12 million customers, and we soon gonna be the first, be in the process of going public, and we will be the first Thailand technology publicly listed company here. Right, so
Amazing. We met her here, ladies. And so I have a question for you. When you started your company, did you have a challenge you had to overcome in the beginning, and how did you do that?
No, I'm kidding.
No, we don't have any challenges whatsoever.
Okay. Of course, I think different stages in a company have a different types of challenge.
Okay.
The first stage is, of course, how do you get all the top brand to trust you, right? They don't even know who you are, right? I mean, I have a very, back then I cannot afford Kunjari Pawn warehouse. But then, we have like a 500 square meters warehouse. Like, all we have is we have a dream, we have a vision. This is what we wanted to do. This is our experience, and we don't have anything concrete, right? So it's more like the first phase is how do you get all the global brand to trust in you, to put their brand, to put their products into your hand, right? And after that, it's more like how do you then build it, right? It's not just about, our vision is to be end-to-end. It's how do you be the best in what you do, right? And our business is not easy, right? You have to do website building, digital marketing, customer service, warehousing, last mile delivery, and all the technologies, right? So how do you build and be expert in 9 or 10 different services that we do? And afterwards, the challenge comes of how do you scale? How do you expand from Thailand into Indonesia, to Philippines, right, to Singapore and Malaysia? Is not easy, right? It seems easy on paper, but the different country have so much complexities, the culture is different, the regulations. So how do you scale all that? And of course, scale in the way that you have to be profitable. Right? So unlike any tech company, right, we have a stakeholder, we have shareholders. So how do you grow at the rate of 50, 60%, but at the same time show that you can make money, you can make profit, right? So I think that's the different stage, always a different types of challenge.
Vinsiri makes this look too easy, doesn't she? So I have 2 quick fire questions as we wrap up. And I'm going to start with Shar. I want to hear from each of you, what's next for your business? What's the next chapter look like? And is there anything new you'll be doing and expanding? You have all these ambassadors here that can be advocates and champions for you. Shah, start with you.
Next for us?
What's next?
Okay. I think for all of us, the goalpost always moves, right?
Yes.
We kind of like, we think we've achieved this, then it moves. But I think what's next for CATS would be targeting to be the first unicorn, women-owned unicorn company from Malaysia. That's what we all aspire in the company.
And what's a unicorn company?
It's going to be $1 billion worth company.
Yes.
And we have, yes, and we have 60% women leadership team in our company.
Yes, that's
So-
what it looks like, guys, D&I.
So that's what we are aiming to prove for ourselves,
Yes.
that we can do this.
Wonderful. Jaraporn?
Since from now, I think that's for Vishay Group, that we go up like this. And we focus more about the ESG and also sustainability. Since as you know that we also have the power business, but the last 5 years, we explore more about the solar business, the solar energy and wind energy. Even though we also use about the industrial waste to create the waste to energy. And for the logistics, I think about the green transportation, right? So now for our company, our carbon credit neutral since last year because we have solar more than we have the carbon credit. And for the next 3 years, I just set the strategy that the BCA Group will turn to technology company in the next 2 years.
All right, great. Josie?
Well, as I said, we're a lot more mature company than all of you, and really so impressed to hearing your stories. It's really fantastic. I got in the wrong end of the business hearing these ladies here, but no, honestly, I think that this pandemic has accelerated the changes we made in terms of being more, increasing our e-commerce business. And we were so dependent, we're still dependent on department stores, but very lucky to have them. But clearly, building our e-commerce is definitely the priority, and having more of our partners. We have licensed products in the different products we have, and I'm very underpenetrated in Asia. And so having the right partners in Asia, believe it or not, Philippines is our first stab in the Asia. So that is something I'm excited about. And honestly, building the company so that it can be relevant to the next generation is very important. So with my son and a whole new force there, I hope that, my goal is to have the brand live beyond me. So that's the next step.
That sounds terrific. That sounds terrific. Vinsiri, what's next?
So next step, last one on the list is Vietnam, to complete the
Yes.
Southeast Asia expansion into Vietnam. And also, currently we work only with with the big brand, right? But our visions is to be able to SaaSify or offering our technology as a self-serving tools. Whenever we are able to do that, then we are able to serve anybody, right? You can be SME, you can be entrepreneurs and want to sell the products, and hopefully by us doing so, we are able to boost and accelerate the digital economy and create an opportunity in the society more.
All right, so Irene's coming up. Last quick fire is, how do you define success? We are all trying to achieve outcomes in all of the roles or companies we own. Quick fire, how do you define success? Start with you, Shah, and go down the line.
So for me, it's always been about me. So if I could influence another Shah that comes from a small town that aspires, we talk about Oprah, we talk about, all the Michelle Obama, right? And for people who come from small town, small villages, this is not reachable. So